So I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I have this webcam, I have this screencast program, and I figured I'd just play around with it here. I was gonna spend some time today brushing up on my math skills because you gotta stay fresh with these things. Um, why am I blanking on that saying? Use it or lose it? Is it just? It's that simple, right? Use it or lose it. You don't use these math skills, you don't lose them. So uh, I just wanted to go on my Khan Academy. I thought, well, okay, let's make a video. So here's the dashboard at Khan Academy where you can set up everything you want to learn. And I just picked the world of math. Okay, Khan Academy, teach me everything about math that you possibly can. And apparently I've learned a third of math approximately. And it's got this cool, breakdown of all the skills here that you can learn, that you have mastered. And let's see here. They get as complex as some, some calculus, of course. Analyze concavity. Okay, this is algebra. So there's sine and cosine. That's kind of trig, but it's differentiation. So trigonometry and calculus. It's neat. And it's as simple as stuff as just like counting. Count 5 elephants, put them in the box. But if you do the mastery challenge here, it'll just randomly select a bunch of skills that you either haven't practiced yet or you have practiced and you need to master, and it'll just kind of throw them at you. You work through the problems, and as you master them, it tracks your progress right over here. Mission progress, it says, you see. So I just wanted to try this out and record it, because what the hell, why not? I'm just having fun. Maybe it says something about me if math is my idea of fun. Okay. Mastery challenge. Work on skills you have already practiced to master them. There are 9 pigs. 4 pigs are in the mud. How many pigs are not in the mud? Got to be kidding me. But, math is a relative thing. It's like you got to get the basics first. Once you master those, you're ready for the next thing. It seems like silly to think of counting as math, but it absolutely is. Once you can count, you can add. Once you can add, you can subtract. Once you can add and subtract, you can multiply and divide, and it builds and builds and builds and builds. So anyway, apparently they think I still need to master counting pigs. Here we go. This would be better. Write a formula for the arc length S in terms of R. So we need to know a little basic trigonometry here and what a radian is. Because I don't actually know what R is, but I can write a formula in terms of R because S here. This is going to be a boring video if I'm just thinking out loud through this stuff, but that's what I'm doing. The angle in the figure is a central angle in radians. So that means the angle is 5.6 radians. So that means, well, what a radian means is, how do I explain this? It's the amount of angle, the arc of angle that will sketch out the distance of one radius along the edge of the circle, if that makes sense. So if I know that the angle is 5.6 radians, then I know it has sketched out 5.6 radians along the circumference of the circle that it would draw. Like if you imagine that sort of the top of Pac-Man's mouth there, rotating along until it gets to the bottom one, it's drawn out 5.6 of that straight horizontal line there, that R. It's drawn out 5.6 of those distances going around the edge of the circle. Does that make sense? So anyway, S equals 5.6 times R. Should be the right formula. We go to check answer. These are going to be embarrassing if I don't get these right. Correct. Next question. The manager at Jessica's furniture store is trying to figure out how much to charge for a couch that just arrived. If the couch was bought at a wholesale price of $113 and Jessica's furniture store marks up all furniture by 45%, at what price should the manager sell the couch? What do you think? It's a markup by percent, right? That means they're going to charge 45% more than what it costs them to buy it. So this is 113 times 45% to figure out how much it gets marked up by. 45% as a decimal is 0.45, so I'll just use this basic calculator here. Just the on-screen calculator so you can see it. Because I have my bitchin' calculator that Leon gave me. It's awesome. Okay. Times 0.45, which is 45%. So what furniture was it? A couch is going to get marked up $50.85 from that. So that's a markup that's additive. So we're then going to just add that to 113, right? Make sense? So I say the manager should sell the couch for $163 and come back calculator, 85 cents. Check answer. Correct. Next question. Consider the following figure. Do you guys remember on Bill Nye, the science guy? They'd always have a little segment called Consider the Following. So it's like an in-joke, I guess, with all of the... Because Bill Nye was an engineer, and so you just imagine how many physics problems he must have done that said, consider the following, when he was in school, and then it got into the show. Okay, let's consider the following. What solid 3D object is produced by rotating the semicircle about the line M? So we've got this line, which is the axis of rotation for this little circle. And we're going to rotate it in 3D space around that. Can you picture spatially what type of object that would make? This says it's either going to be a semisphere or a sphere. I say it's going to be a sphere. A sphere of radius 5. Here this option says a sphere with diameter 5. Diameter is twice the radius. So diameter would be 10. Check answer. Correct. Next question. Are the points B, W, and F collinear? Some geometry here. So we got to kind of decode what's going on in this diagram. And they've put in some extra stuff that you don't got to worry about here. Point Y, rhombus R, or whatever shape this is, parallelogram. I mean, here's another line. It's all kind of pointless because all you really need to notice is this sort of diagram of a line here. If you got the two arrows on either end of it, that's considered a line. And we look at the points F, B, and W are all on that line. So they are co-linear. Line linear. Okay, so I say this is yes. Let's check our answer. Correct. Next question. How many unique ways are there to arrange the letters in the word opal? There's a brute force way to do this by just rearranging them. Just say, okay, well, if it starts with the letter O, you can have opal, olap, oapple, etc., and just find all the permutations. But you can also just do, what's that called? Factorial, I think is what applies here. But I'm not really sure. I could guess that this is going to be 4 factorial. Factorial means you take a number and you multiply it by the next integer down all the way until you get to 1. So if you know the integers, that's just, you know, whole numbers. So in this case, there's 4 letters, so I want to try 4 factorial. So I would take it 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Obviously, the times 1 is not going to make a difference. You multiply anything by 1, you get the same thing. So I should do 4 times 3 times 2. 4 factorial is 24. That's going to be my guess. I hope I'm right. Correct. It says awesome. So I show my points. And here's this sort of screen where it says, look, you've mastered these skills now. So on radians and arc length, I'd practiced it a few times before here on Khan Academy. And I've gone up from level 1 to mastery. So I'm sure a lot of people out there are already familiar with Khan Academy and all that, and I'm not trying to do an ad for them because it's a free service. I just am entertaining myself with my webcam. So I'm not going to continue to next task here. I'm going to wrap up the video. This is kind of fun, doing math for an audience. How do I tell this thing to stop recording?